Welcome to the second hour of World Crisis Radio. This is Webster Tarpley in Washington, D.C. We'll get back to our discussion of the second wave of the Depression, the events involving Greece, the European Union, the IMF, Goldman Sachs derivatives, and all that. But let's now switch gears. Let's look at Obama and the constitutional question. One interesting thing we've got today in the press, that Governor Blagojevich of Illinois, who is on trial for various charges in Illinois, has called Obama as a witness. He says he cannot conduct his defense against these charges about selling the Senate seat and all that if he doesn't get testimony from Obama. And this, of course, raises the issue that once you get Obama either on the stand or being deposed, right, in the way that Clinton was deposed or Nixon was deposed, why not, that somebody could ask him, by the way, what country are you a citizen of? Where were you born? Who are you? What is your name? Very common things for attorneys to ask people on the stand. So to get an update on activities leading towards the March on Washington in this regard, let's go to Philadelphia and Phil Berg. Hello, Phil.
Hi, it's my pleasure to be on with you, Webster. Yeah, things are happening now. Things are breaking wide open. I think that trial in Chicago is fantastic. Just the other day, the House in Arizona passed legislation stating that anyone running for president as of 2012 must show a birth certificate, must show that they're constitutionally qualified to be president. It still has to pass the Senate, but the release went out, and then the response from the White House was, well, we already showed the birth certificate and 2 announcements in the paper. The announcements in the paper are insignificant, but it's a blatant lie from the White House because a birth certificate has never been shown. The only thing they put up on the campaign website in June of 2008 was a COBE, a certification of live birth, which is our experts have determined has been altered. At the very bottom of the document, it says if there's any alteration, it's invalid. So I'm really excited about the turn of events because it's in the news now, especially with this lieutenant colonel who doesn't want to take follow orders. So the topic's hot. Our March, we're calling it the Obama Birth Certificate Eligibility Obamacare March on Washington, which will be Saturday, May 29th at noon at the Ellipse, which is behind the White House. And we're hoping to get, I'd like to see 1 million, I'd like to see 2 million people there. The American public deserves to know the truth about Obama. He has been lying to us. He's a fraud. He's a phony. This is the biggest hoax against the United States of America in 230 years. And I stand firm with my statements. I've said them on and on and on. And you notice the Secret Service doesn't come after me. No authorities come after me for my lies because I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. So I'm excited by the fact that it's out there in the news, and we're hoping to attract more and more people. We want more and more people just to realize this issue. And I think the American public, as total, doesn't really know this issue. And when they do, they're going to be shocked and amazed and demand the truth because a birth certificate, which is only part of the picture here, but a birth certificate must be shown by all your listeners between 1 and 10 times in their lifetime. You definitely need it to register your child for Little League. You definitely need it for a passport, and you need it for college entrances. You need it for driver's licenses, baptism. Different states have different requirements. But Obama has shown nothing. But more significant even than his birth certificate is the fact that he was adopted or acknowledged in Indonesia, where his name became Barry Soetoro. And if he hasn't legally changed his name since that time, his legal name is still Barry Soetoro. So any time he has been using his name as Barack Hussein Obama, it's been a fraud. And Obama is a total fraud. He's dropping in the polls. He's sending this country in a socialist or Marxist fashion, which the people here in America better wake up before it's too late. And Obama is really destroying this country. He doesn't care about the Constitution. A prime example would be the governor from California, Arnold Schwarzenegger. People have talked to him for 10, 15 years about running for president, and he constantly says what? He says amend the Constitution, because the Constitution requirement is that a person be 35 years of age, you lived in this country for 14 years, and you be a natural-born citizen. Whereas Arnold Schwarzenegger admits he's from Austria, and therefore he's not natural-born. Obama, by saying nothing, is basically walking all over the Constitution. He's stepping on the Constitution, and also by Obamacare that violates the Constitution as far as I'm concerned as an attorney. And also he's now with his Attorney General Eric Holder. They're talking about some restrictions on the Second Amendment. Obama is really a fraud, a phony. I'd love to see that trial in Chicago. I might contact the attorney. I'd love to be there to order that. And also, Reverend Manning is doing a trial for May 24th in New York, and he believes he has information. He states that he will show that Obama was a CIA agent back at about 1980, and that he never really went to Columbia University. They just gave him a degree from there, and that's how he ended up getting into Harvard. So I'm excited, Webster, at this point because things are going our way. I really think that if the American public does what I'd ask, just come forth with me and stand and demand the truth. And all this information is on our website, which is obamacrimes.com. Well, we need people to go there and send it to everyone on their address book and on and on. We could use finances. We could use help to establish this march in Washington. And we'll be adding speakers as we go along. And I think it's going to be a new awakening for this country. We need that's what I want, a peaceful revolution. We want the truth. We want Obama out of office because he has no business being in office, and everything he's done is voidable, including this Obamacare, which is a real disaster.
Wonderful. I'm going to be there, Phil, and I think it's great, and I think it's important also that it bring together people of a right-wing or conservative coloration along with progressives and leftists, because there's an increasing group of people to Obama's left who are very unhappy with his wars, with this, again, what I would call fascist corporate state health plan, because that's what it is, historically speaking, and all the other people that he's betrayed with his promises. So that's growing too.
We're going to add speakers, and for your audience out there, Webster will be there. Webster will be one of our speakers, and we'll be putting together a list of speakers. It's going to be a really rewarding time for America because we're going to bring out the truth, and we deserve the truth for the 305 to 308 million people in this country who deserve the truth. Our forefathers were doing that. Maybe they rest in peace. But I'm also doing that for the 3.2 million men and women who have either died or been maimed. I think 1.6 have died and another 1.6 have been maimed fighting our wars, as well as the millions of others who have served in our armed forces over the years, and also the ones that are still serving to defend and respect, this country of ours. Whereas Obama, when he was running for office, if you recall, when they played the national anthem, he stood there, didn't even put his hand on his heart. He has no allegiance to this country. He could care less about this country, and he's destroying this country. And I'm looking forward to everyone joining with me, as many as possible, to demand the truth. That's all we want. We want the truth. And of Obama, if you're not natural born, which I'm sure you're not, we want you to resign from office. And that's what we're going to demand. We're asking everyone who comes to our march bring a copy of their birth certificate. Webster, can you see 1 million people standing there and holding up a copy of their birth certificate and then demanding that Obama produce his, and if not, that he resign from office? And everyone around Obama should really be subjected to the criminal justice system, tried, and those convicted should go to jail. This is really hurting our country, and I'm standing firm on this. I filed, as you know, my first lawsuit back on August 21st, 2008, before the Democratic National Convention. And the American public deserves this, and I'm honored that they call me the father of the birther movement. I'm honored. Any name you want to call me, and if I don't cross the finish line first, someone else, God bless them. I don't care who does it, as long as we work together.
Okay, Phil, thanks very much, and keep in touch, and good luck organizing that conference. And we'll be conferring about that soon, I'm sure. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
We'll be back in just a minute here on World Crisis Radio.